So what's it take to build one of the world's top AI companies? You'd probably picture some kind of prodigy who just aced every single math class. But the story of Tom Brown, one of the co-founders of Anthropic, well, it's this incredible journey from some serious self-doubt all the way to the absolute forefront of the AI revolution. This quote right here, it gets straight to the heart of it. The guy who helped build GPT-3, who now leads the technical strategy for Claude, one of the most advanced AIs on the planet, he started out feeling like he might not even be qualified for the job.
Yeah, this feeling of being an outsider, of not quite fitting the mold, that's a huge theme in his early career. And honestly, it's what makes his stories so compelling and, so relatable.
So, if he wasn't a traditional academic whiz kid, where did he get the skills, the grit, to build something like Anthropic? Well, it all started in the trenches of early-stage startups. That's where he learned this really crucial lesson about how to innovate and how to survive.
Okay, you gotta hear this metaphor he picked up. In school, you have what he calls a dog mindset, right? You're given tasks, you do them, and then you wait to be fed the next assignment. But in a startup, that just doesn't fly. A startup dies by default. You have to switch to a wolf mindset. You have to go out and proactively hunt for what you need to survive. And that mental shift from being a passive student to an active hunter, that was everything for him.
And you can see that wolf mindset being forged right here on this timeline. He wasn't climbing some cushy corporate ladder. Nope. He was jumping from one high-pressure startup to the next, learning to code at massive scale, co-founding his own company, just navigating that chaotic tech world way before AI was even really on his radar. Every single one of these was a lesson in resilience. All this startup experience, all that hustle, it was all building toward the biggest pivot of his entire life. After years in the grind, he decided to just leave it all behind and try to break into the super academic, really uncertain field of AI research. And let me tell you, this was not an easy decision. He was completely burned out from his last startup. His friends thought he was nuts. They literally called his plan to go into AI safety weird and bad. And on top of all that, his old self-doubt came roaring back. He knew that if he was going to have any shot at this, he couldn't just wing it. He needed a plan, a serious one. So he basically treated his career pivot like a startup project. First, he took a contract at Twitch to build up his savings, his personal runway. Then, for 6 solid months, he just went all in on this self-study plan. A Coursera course for the fundamentals, Kaggle competitions to get his hands dirty, and yup, he hit the textbooks to finally conquer his weak spots, including that linear algebra class he dreaded. And it worked. The plan worked. It got his foot in the door at OpenAI. And it was there that he stumbled upon a discovery so profound, it didn't just change his career, it changed the entire trajectory of the whole AI industry. You can just feel the awe in his voice when he talks about this moment. He saw a graph, just a simple line on a chart, that showed something unbelievable. As they added more data and more compute, the AI's performance got better in this perfectly predictable way. And this trend held true over 12 orders of magnitude. That's a scale that is just mind-bogglingly huge.
This idea became known as scaling laws, and it was a total paradigm shift. It turned out the path to more powerful AI wasn't about waiting for some single elegant new algorithm. It was about scale. If you could build bigger models with more data on more powerful computers, you could reliably create more intelligence. It was a brute force approach, sure, but my God, it worked.
This was his aha moment. He bet his entire career on this one insight. While a lot of other researchers were criticizing the approach as wasteful or inelegant, Tom and his team just embraced it. They adopted this slogan, "Do the stupid thing that works." And scaling, well, that was the stupid thing that was about to change everything. So this deep conviction in scaling, combined with a real concern for AI safety, that's what led him and a group of his colleagues to leave OpenAI and start their own lab, Anthropic. And their beginning was, well, it was anything but glamorous. Just look at this comparison. It's wild. On one side, you had OpenAI, already an industry titan with $1 billion in funding and all the big names. And on the other side, you had Anthropic, just 7 co-founders, working during the middle of the pandemic with absolutely no guarantee of success. They were the definition of an underdog. So what was it that held them together? It wasn't fame or a big payday. The first 100 people who joined could have worked anywhere. They came to Anthropic for the mission. They shared this really serious belief that AI was going to be transformative, and they felt this deep, profound responsibility to make sure that transformation went well for everyone. And against all odds, that focus paid off.
This chart from Y Combinator is fascinating. In 2023, startups overwhelmingly preferred OpenAI's models. But by 2024, especially for coding tasks, the preference dramatically flipped to Anthropic's Claude. They captured the hearts and minds of developers, which is a crucial win in the AI race.
So how did they do it? Here's the key insight. While other companies were building tools for developers, the Anthropic team started building tools for the AI itself. They began treating their model, Claude, as the end user. They started asking, what tools does Claude need to do its job better? This empathetic model-first approach was their secret weapon. Now, this whole success story, it's really part of a much bigger trend. The entire AI industry is now built on that foundation of scaling laws, and it's leading to what Tom Brown calls the largest infrastructure project in human history.
Just let this number sink in for a second. 3x. That is the approximate increase in spending on the computers needed to train these giant AI models every single year. This is not a gentle slope, folks. It's an exponential explosion that is completely reshaping global priorities around energy, data centers, manufacturing. This isn't just a tech trend, it's a civilizational build-out on a scale we have never seen before.
So what can we all take away from this incredible journey? His advice is actually pretty simple, but powerful. Take more risks. Don't be afraid to make that leap into the unknown like he did. Focus on what truly motivates you, what your future self would look back and be proud of you for building. And finally, ignore all the external signals, the fancy degrees, the prestigious company names. Just focus on the impact you can have. And that really brings us to the final thought. Tom Brown's story is this amazing testament to the power of a wolf mindset, of deep conviction and the raw courage to take a leap of faith, even when your friends are telling you it's weird and bad. It kind of leaves us with a question for ourselves. What risk would your future self be proud of you for taking?